All right, we can go ahead with questions.
Coach, just thoughts on the game first off?
Not good enough. I give Oklahoma State credit. I mean, they swung it really well. They pitched really well. They did, times you can be really great at two parts of your game. Our bats were not timely. Our defense was great. Our pitchers gave up too much, too many hard hit balls. So they're good, and we knew it. We've got to pitch more competitively. I think that's the word that we were talking about, was just competitive, being more competitive swings, competitive pitchers, athletic in that way. We gave ourselves a chance late in the game, but we were just kind of in a lull in the middle. And you can't, against a good team, you can't give up innings. You can't sit back and wait, we just can't. And there have been times when we used to be able to do that pretty easily, but we're not made that way this year. We're just not, we can't take innings off. We've got to grind. We've got to work better at passing the bat on that side, and we've got to make competitive pitches. If we keep trying to catch up, but we keep giving up the lead, then what does that help? So we just talked a lot about being more competitive and fearless.
Patty, you talk about bats early on drawing a lot of walks, but they're not coming up with those timely hits. What stood out to you about the approach there, based on what you wanted going in and how it played out?
The approach, we were ready. I mean, it's just we're grounding out. We're popping up, and everybody wants that timely hit. OSU got it, definitely. But we were just not scoring the ball up the way we needed to, and we give that credit to their pitching staff. But at the same time, we need to have more competitive at-bats. We need to swing early. We need to swing hard. We need to think of, I'm not going to get denied and pass it back to the next person on deck. And we had glimpses of that, but it's got to happen throughout the game. And we weren't doing that the way we know how.
Hey, I know your pitching decision didn't work out for you. I know you helped Penn Maxwell and deal, but what were you thinking when you decided to make that decision? What were you hoping for?
With Kelly or?
Kelly to deal.
As I look at it a little bit differently, I am extremely proud of Kelly because it's a very tough situation, and even if you're playing at home, it's a tough situation for her. So I was proud of her competing, but there's too many walks, there's hit batteries, and then it's a 3-run bomb or whatever it is. So I thought Kelly came out and was a little bit nervous, and then she started to settle in a bit, but this is a day that she was knowing was coming. And if you've ever been in a position like that, your heart beats a little bit differently that day. But I'm proud of her, and I think she's going to be better from it, as well as KD and this team. We're going to see who we are and what we're made of the rest of this weekend.
You finally got Katie on there.
Yeah.
She was
phenomenal, just great. That is a competitive pitcher. Just give me the ball and let me go at it. And that's what it looked like. So what we did, and every time we are not successful in a game, or even when we are, we try to take what we need to learn from it. I think we got a lot of lessons learned tonight. Now, are we a team that can bring it out tomorrow? And that's not even us talking about outcomes. It's really talking about efforts and mindsets and grinding and not being denied and all of those words that go with athletics.
Tiare and Kinzie talking about the offense, just what do you take away from a night like tonight, and how much is it just you guys can be better, or how much is it just Oklahoma State was pitching really well tonight?
Yeah, I think they pitched really well, but at a certain point we got to adjust. We had little spurts of it here and there, just not enough to execute. So I think just tomorrow you got to get a new game plan, adjust, and we're saying the right things, just not completely doing them. So tomorrow, just being all in and kind of having like a so what mentality and get after it and see what happens.
Patty, back to Kirsten. For Kirsten and Kelly, they've just looked different out of the pen than when they start games. Is there a mental issue, like dynamic of you're prepared coming into it versus like, how do you sift through that?
I know. I mean, KD has been our hottest pitcher as of late. So if I felt like she wasn't ready to come in, I wouldn't put her in. It's just she had an off night. She left the ball over the plate too many times, and she'll tell you that herself. So I don't know. She is too much of a competitor to come in and say, "Oh, I'm not ready." I mean, so again, these are lessons learned. When you come in from the bullpen, you better be ready to slam the door.
I haven't seen Katie in a while, so when she came in, did she have her good stuff from what you've seen from her all year? I mean, she looked really good to me, but.
Right, absolutely. One thing about Katie is her spin. She's a very consistent pitcher. I think that her mentality this year, her composure has been very consistent, very locked in. So that was kind of my message to her, is just to kind of bow up and be there. And I was going to give 100% and leave it all out there with her, and she was going to do the same. And that was our approach. So I was really proud of her. You know, she came in, she was spinning that thing. There was no, really no excuses. Like Coach said, you know, they executed on good pitches. Really, that's all you can really say. I think that the ones that we were trying to get in the chase on, they didn't, and then the ones that were over the plate, they got the barrel on it. So, tip the cap to them. But failure isn't real as long as you learn from it. So I think that going forward, you know, this isn't really this isn't a mentality issue. This is all about executing our game plan that we've been working so hard on this week, and I'm really excited to come out tomorrow, and we'll be just fine.